We are back at the Nordloff Center here. Thanks to our friends at Collins Aerospace to begin round 2, our United Way Move the Middle volleyball round. Auburn's on top right now with 90 points. Eastland not too far behind with 30, and we all know there are a lot of points still on the board. Before we get to more questions, a very special thank you to Einar Forsman, who is the president and CEO of the Rockford Chamber of Commerce. He also happens to be our judge today, part of a long list of Rockford community members who have supported Quiz Bowl basically from the beginning. So thank you, Einar, for that and for being here with us today. All right, contestants, our volleyball round is a back and forth. You know how this works. Remember, you can consult, but I need or confer, but I need to hear from the captains because of the coin flip. Eastland gets our first volleyball question. Abby, are you and the team ready?
Yes.
Here's the first one. What villain who often inadvertently humiliates General Hux is played by Adam Driver and tries to corrupt Rey in the most recent Star Wars trilogy?
Defer to Hudson.
We can't defer. He disguised himself as Matt in an Undercover Boss episode on SNL, if that helps. It was Kylo Ren. No points there. The questions will get tougher. Here's a question now for Auburn. You're first in the volleyball, Auburn. An Edgar Allan Poe story in which it is concluded that an orangutan killed 2 women is titled For Murders in what fictitious street in Paris?
Rue Morgue.
That is correct, and sorry for the spoiler for that story if you've never read it, but Rue Morgue is correct. Auburn, you're up to 100. We're back to Eastland now with a new question. What particles are uncharged leptons that have electron, muon, and tau varieties and are created along with positrons in beta plus decay? Kind of a tough physics question. Neutrinos. Back to Auburn. What musical work premiered in Dublin in 1742 has 53 sections, including Worthy is the Lamb, For Unto Us a Child is Born, and the Hallelujah Chorus?
That's the Messiah, yeah. Messiah?
That's right. Handel's Messiah, that Hallelujah Chorus, may be one of the most famous pieces of classical music. We're back to Eastland with a new question. What Canadian-American architect's design for the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao was described by some critics as a ship in a cloak of titanium?
Titanic.
Incorrect. That was a tough architecture question. Frank Gehry. We were also Frank Owen Goldberg. We would have taken that. No points. New question for Auburn. What structures held together by the residual strong force were discovered in the gold foil experiment and are made of protons and neutrons?
Atomic nuclei?
Correct. Protons and neutrons, probably a good clue, even if you didn't know what the gold foil experiment was. You've got 10 more, and we're back to Eastland. William Beaumont studied what process in Alexis St. Martin, who had been accidentally shot in the abdomen but survived with a fistula?
Photosynthesis.
Incorrect. This might be one of the grossest questions we've ever had on Quiz Bowl. The process was actually digestion. So a fistula is an abnormal opening into a hollow space, so he could actually see into the stomach and take samples. Hope you're not enjoying a snack right now. Again, grossest question maybe ever answered and asked here. We're over to Auburn now for a new question, hopefully a little less disgusting. What philosopher who tutored Queen Christina of Sweden wrote the skeptical Discourse on the Method in which he declared, I think, therefore I am?
Descartes.
That's right. That was his way of proving existence, and that's 10 more points. We're back to Abby and Eastland. What ocean's marginal seas include the Laccadive Sea, the Andaman Sea, and the Bay of Bengal?
Indian Ocean.
That's correct. Keegan knew that one pretty quickly, right? Third largest ocean basin in the world. You got it. That's 10 points, and that's how we end the round. We're out of time for that round. So halfway through our game, Auburn's bumped their score up to 130, but Eastland has a respectable 40, and we will take a quick break, come back with our lightning round, where we all know those scores can change quickly, but first a chance for you to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be right back.